You don't want to start 2026 like this. I'm starting a new pilot program called 2026 Preseason Training. It's for leaders who want to get their team match fit before the whistle blows and the 2026 season kicks off. So if you're running a good company or a team and you want to hit 2026 in a sprint, this is your window right now to set it up. We'll custom build your 12-month plan and drop it into a Trello board so that you actually track it and use it. We'll resource it properly so the work actually gets done and set you up a school community so that you're ready to get rhythm from day one. We'll be setting it all up using Goldrat's project rules of flow to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure, because that's exactly what this is and how you need to treat it as a project. And you'll also be learning to leverage AI where it counts to get the most impact. This isn't some paint by numbers cookie cutter course. It's pre-season training custom built for your business. There's only 10 spots and we'll have it wrapped up so that you're ready to run before we hit Christmas. DM me the words 2026 pre-season training and I'll send you all the details, because you really don't want to start 2026 like this. 2026 didn't start in a sprint. Guess what? There is 18 days, including today, left in Q1 of 2026. If you want to get it back on track, reach out or go back and watch yesterday's live and reach out about the Catalyst Academy. DM me the word Catalyst if you want the doc. That'll show you exactly what it does and how it works. All right. Something really interesting happened this week while we're talking about stealth teams. It led to a much bigger realization, for want of a better term, an epiphany that I had this morning after watching a video by Chris Voss, which I'm going to show you in a second. The real problem on most projects isn't planning or any other things that we've blamed. This is probably not just on projects, this is probably society in general. What we've slowly but surely done, inadvertently, is strip
out there in the sun with no water. Now, if I'd have said,
hang on, let me get this started for you the right spot.
To you, all right, whatever you made in the last hour, you...
Okay, let's go.
Not everybody's homeless by choice, but if you're hustling a street corner, you're an entrepreneur. You picked a busy street corner because there are more people coming by. You got a nice sign. You've taken the time to make yourself as clean as possible, as appealing as possible. And you're standing out there in the sun with no water. Now, if I'd have said to you, all right, whatever you made in the last hour, you start working for me, I'll double whatever you bring in. But you got to stand out here in the sun, and you can't have any water, and you can't sit down, and you got to stay out here for another hour. Now, you'd see that as a loss of your autonomy, and you'd be like, I'm not working under those conditions for anybody. But if I don't say anything to you, you are going to work happily under those conditions for the next hour because you're working for yourself. Autonomy is one of the key drivers of human nature. Not everybody's homeless by choice, but if you're...
Autonomy is one of the key drivers of human nature. Let's get rid of Chris. Let's get the notes up here so you can follow along as we go. Full transparency of what I'm doing here. You can see exactly how I do what I do, how this is all produced. Come on, let's go to the bottom, please. Right. This is what we are walking through today. So what we do now is an accusation order. This is another thing that Chris Voss teaches in his book, Never Split the Difference. If you haven't read it, get your hands on a copy. Okay, accusation orders is to find out the things that you are thinking, but you're not saying. It's exactly why I do it at the start of the video, okay? So before I get into this, let me say that some people might already be thinking, here we go again. Another LinkedIn legend, same project management's broken. Well, maybe you're thinking it's easier to say when you're not the one that's accountable for delivering my project. Sounds interesting on LinkedIn. Won't work in the real world, Boney. You can't do that here. As I've said in previous videos, if I had $1 for every time someone told me that, I wouldn't be standing here on a Saturday running LinkedIn in lives. I'll be on my yacht in Mallorca. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most large projects don't struggle because people don't know what to do. Struggle because the system slowly removes the autonomy that's required so that they can actually fix the problems themselves. Once the autonomy disappears, something very predictable happens. People switch off. They disengage. Stop trying to improve the process or the system. They start protecting themselves from the inside. That's when delivery slows to a crawl. Industry calls this project management. Management is the wrong word. There's a video by Christian Bukosis that I've played before. Management is I'm going to say 1911 word. I hope we're still running here. Is that just, there's anyone else? This new Apple thing, it's the lightest update. It maximises everything. It's a pain in the ass. If anyone knows how to switch it off, much appreciate you dropping how to do it in the comments. Management's the wrong word. It was built for a different era, a different time, when projects moved at a different pace. Okay? When you say all the stuff that I speak to and you say you can't do that in our environment, Benny, it's dangerous, it's complicated, it's complex. Yeah, well, the exact same stuff has been done by numerous people in the armed forces. Team of Teams, General McChrystal, Turn the Ship Around, McGilvray. There's another guy as well, the best little ship in the Navy. Can't remember his name right off the top of my head. The stuff that I speak to is what they did. Might have been called different names, different processes a little bit different. What they did was give the decision-making power back to the people at the front line. They were doing the work. Created processes for them, created thinking patterns for them, ways for them to do their best. Autonomy. That's how we turn the industry around. There is no other magical fix. This is the magical fix. This is the magical hack that will fix it. It just won't fix it like that. Like we've all been taught on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all the other bullshit platforms where we want instant results without actually putting any effort in. We know we need to get everyone on the same page, okay? But we've got a lot of opinions going on. Opinions are noise. One of the keys here is we need to separate noise. Someone give me a thumbs there, didn't like what I was saying. Good. If it upset you, you probably need to hear it. Opinions are noise. Physics and data are signals telling us what we need to actually do. We've got to get missions, operations, and execution all in alignment. We've got an obsession, we're going fast. Fast is chaotic. What we need is speed. Speed equals flow. Look at projects through the lens of something surprising appears when you look at them through the lens of, there it goes again. Oh, damn, I wish I would stop doing that. Through the lens of lean. What we start to see is all this busyness that we celebrated is actually non-value added activity. What we need is a focus on the value added activity. We need to stop more often, slow down, get things right, stop producing rework, stop doing things 3 times. Our speed is governed by our constraint. Wherever the constraint is in the system. Autonomy is a major constraint in the system. It's probably the constraint in the system. We like to celebrate and call, we've got A players and B players and C players. That's local optima. A lot of those players that we graded as being our best performers because they get results. My question's always, they got results at what cost? At what cost to the overall system did they produce a localised result? All we need is impact players. Players, when everyone, they're out on the job, everyone else is a better player. That's global optima. Tom Brady is a classic example. If they'd have looked at him from a graded player early on in his career, he would never, ever have played NFL. Too small. His arms, hasn't got the arm on him. Not fast enough, not strong enough. Everything said, he was a C grader at best. Later on in his career, I was just listening to a story the other day, he actually took less money than he could have got elsewhere because he knew he needed to be an impact player and they needed a whole team to be strong, not just him. Global optima. He was doing it by itself. So he took less money so they could have other impact players around him. We can double our throughput by focusing on increasing our 10% value-added activity and dropping our 90% non-value-added activity. By working out how to increase speed, not how fast are we going. Right, 70% of change management, again, there's that M word, management, that we need to get rid of, fails. Fails because we focus on how do we do it. How do we implement Lean? How do we implement Scrum? How do we use theory of constraint? The internet's full of how. If how is our problem, it will be solved. We would all be going at the maximum pace that we need to be going at. How, focusing on how we do it. And people like to focus on how because it was summed up in one sentence I heard from a Lean guy recently, which is tools and techniques are the easy bit. It's getting your leaders and your people engaged, motivated, and able to sustain it. That's your real challenge. How focuses on tools and techniques. It's got the lowest probability of working and you go slow. If we want to operate with speed with the highest probability, we need the right hose. I have 4 rules that I've created inside construction school where the Catalyst Academy is. First one, for people who are who impact players. One I stole off the All Blacks. Number 1, no dickheads. They're going to be humble and they're going to be coachable. They're not. I don't care what results they produce because it's going to slow the system down anyway. Localised results don't matter. Be useful. Be Arnie Schwarzenegger. If you hear people talking about, oh, you can't have A players and B players on the same team because what's the name? The A players won't stand for the B players and all this other nonsense. That's because we've stripped autonomy away, okay? And the A players ain't A players that we think they are. They're doing a lot of these ones. A lot of opinions and a lot of noise. Is the only reason that they're considered to be A players. They're not really. They're prepared, like Tom Brady, take a pay cut, put their time into developing the other players. They ain't A player. Got to be useful. They need to experiment, improve things. How do we improve the process? This is where the autonomy comes into it. This is what we're doing inside school as well. It's a safe place for people to be able to experiment, test things out. They need to lead without authority. What I mean by that was, I tell the story quite a few times, where how I became a superintendent I was a supervisor on the job, and my superintendent came down to me out on the job one day in the paddock and said, "Hey, Beanie." "Yeah, Pete." He said, "They just sacked the construction manager." He goes, "I'm now the construction manager. You're now the superintendent." I went, "That's fantastic. Glad you got so much faith in me, Pete." What does the superintendent do? I was already doing it. He just said, "Keep doing what you're doing." I was leading without authority. I didn't have the authority to do the things that I was doing as a supervisor, but I was doing them anyway. I was already doing the level above me. That's what we want all of our impact players to be doing. Not just playing at the level that they're supposed to be at, although some will just do that. Fair enough. They're not going to be an impact player. One of them playing a level above where they currently are. They lead without authority. They've got those 4 key characteristics. You turn a good team out of them. Change, really, this is really starting to piss me off while it's doing this. Change, real change starts. That's why real change starts through hierarchy. Stealth teams starts through recognition. Few people see the same signal. Can't just have one person operating in isolation. Start experimenting. Start improving execution quietly. And that's where your stealth teams actually form. So the system that we use to do this is pretty simple. I got my AI, I cheated a little bit today, right? So I took a picture of that and said, "Make me some notes to put up on my board at Saturday. I don't bother spending all day prepping. You can give them to me." And it did, and I didn't spend enough time checking what it did, and I don't understand why it was trying to go on that 4th slide. Anyway, so we need a delivery system like this. I call this the Catalyst Daily Loop. Notice I didn't say it's the Catalyst Weekly Loop or the Catalyst Monthly Loop or the Catalyst Loop, and the Catalyst feels like it. It's a Catalyst Daily Loop. In the morning meeting, we're learning to see waste, where's the non-value added activity, and flow. How do we get everyone moving at the same speed? When a hidden issue during the day, they use ORCA, which I'm going to do for you in a minute, show you an ORCA. They stop and they fix it. Create little lessons learned when they do that, or photos or videos, and then they share it on a platform like school, where the Catalyst Academy is. And repeat. Same process, over and over and over and over again. It's like a flywheel. Keeps spinning up. That's why the work that I do, I don't call project management. I call it project delivery. You have a project delivery team. The project delivery team needs autonomy. Goal's not to manage them, goal's to support them. Get them what they need to be able to do their job even better. That's the going goal for the Catalyst Academy in soil construction. So, and the key goal in soil construction school as well. Restore autonomy. Get our people doing the work, the ability to be able to make the decisions that they need to make. Help them become better players. I love that All Blacks book, Legacy, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life. They did the exact same thing, created autonomy. That's why I stole that one off of them there, no dickheads. They worked out better people become better All Blacks. Instead of just grading your people and going, well, they don't really measure up. This bloke does 50 and he does 20. Yeah, but his 20's never got any rework. He does 20 every single day, not 50 one day, 20 the next, 10 the next, all over the place. His quality's spot on. It's always the same. It's always good. Opinions are noise. Opinions about where people fit and are graded are noise. They're not based on physics or data, where they're improving the overall system. They're actually improving the project, helping the project move better, whether they are part of the project delivery team or whether they're just an dickhead who's an individual player who doesn't want to help anybody else. All right, let's do ORCA, and then we're done for today. ORCA phase 2. New ORCA debrief. Never been able to get this transcribed properly with those 3 words. No, there we go. I'm going to beat it. Run ORCA debrief. Oi! I reckon that's the first time that's actually worked. It's day 111. So if you want the details about that Catalyst Academy, the overview doc, just DM me the word Catalyst. That's WhatsApp up in the corner there. Hey, look at that, I nearly got it. Or if you're on LinkedIn, just LinkedIn, message me directly via LinkedIn. It is Saturday, the 14th of March 2026. The time is 2:11 p.m. and we're in Beanie's office. Upload a photo of the previous shift's whiteboard. Right. Let's go for a walk. Actually, I'll put you on, follow me, and you'll follow me around while I do this. 3 actions on the whiteboard. Beanie, run alive. Was this action completed yesterday? Yes. Yes. Switching all this to Claude at the moment, so I just started learning it this morning. Next action was wingman handover notes. Yes. So we're going to have, Mox is going to become Claude based. And that's going to happen over the next month. BangerBot recap live. Yes. Now he's going to ask me to put my new tasks up. What is the objective of this mission? The objective of the mission today was to get started setting up Claude in the transition from ChatGPT to Claude. Yes. So I've got the training, I've done the first CFT, critical focus time, which was 50 minutes. I've spent that on the training. I've got my Trello board set up with the task in there. I've got the training that I'm working to. Everything is centralized into one place. I've actually downloaded, to use it with Claude, we needed a program called Visual Studio Code. We've downloaded that and set up the Claude account, and it's ready for me to do the next critical focus time on it. Completed first critical focus time. The first critical focus, a CFT critical focus time is 50 minutes, 50. Complete the first critical focus time, 50 minutes. Working through the Claude training. Trello boards created with the tasks organised in one place. Training material centralised for the transition work. Visual Studio Code downloaded and installed. Claude account created and ready for the next critical focus time. Is this correct? Yes. I made created a new pact. So the next 10 days, the pact is I'll do one critical focus time per day, 50 minutes. I'm tracking that in my progress sheets. I had the training that I already knew I wanted to use, set up the Trello board to make sure I've got everything centralised and not wasting time going looking for training or documents or anything else that I need, which is part of the Verify Full Kit process. And I just decided to get on with it, stop messing around. I've been speaking about doing it for weeks, so we're going to get it done. "10-day pack was created to complete 150-minute critical focus time per day." Yes. Progress tracking is in place using the progress sheets. Yep. Training and resources were organised and centralised in Trello as part of the Verify Full Kit. Correct. A decision was made to stop delaying and begin execution. Is this correct? Yes. What are the new actions on the whiteboard? Right, let's go for, are you still on follow me mode? Oh. Follow me mode now. Right. Where is our whiteboard? Cleaner, here it is. All right, who? Beanie Run Live. Yep. 14th. 14th to the 3rd, and we're doing that at 2 to 2:30 p.m. Wingman handover notes, yes, we need those. That'll be the same. 2:30 p.m. And banger post recap of live. That's not the most important one today. More important than that is your wedges sorted out again. Not quite right. What we need to do, break down improvements for school from video training. If I'm honest, I'm probably not going to get to that until, let's say, 15th of the 3rd, 26, let's say 8 o'clock tomorrow. What I'm doing here is saying, instead of when's that going to be done, the question is when are you going to block out time on your calendar to do it? Far more powerful question, because people always tell you they're going to do wonders and poop miracles, as my old grandma used to say. But more important is, when are you going to work on it? When are you going to put time into your schedule to actually work on that and get it done? Then what we do is, every day, is we go, give us an update. Where you at? Scale of 1 to 10. You said you'd get it done by Friday. What's your confidence level of having it done by Friday? What percentage complete are you at the moment? The way that we nail that down better is get a good definition of done. What's done look like? When the job's finished, what's complete? What does it look like? How do we say, you've heard me in previous videos talk to Jing Yang, Silicon Valley, hot dog or not a hot dog? Have we done it or is it not done? That's what we want to do. Don't want opinions. Opinions are noise. We want facts and data. Data, that's signals as to where we're going. Actions extracted from the board. Beanie Run Live, 2 to 2:30. ORCA Wingman handover nights. Beanie breakdown improvements from school video training. What's the definition of done for this? The The live must be published on YouTube and LinkedIn. That's the definition of done. Did Benny do the live or did he not? Is it published on YouTube? Is it published on LinkedIn? Yep. Yeah, he did it. Done. What is the definition of done for the ORCA? The handover notes are ready to copy, paste and give to MOX, M-O-X. Have we got the notes ready to copy, paste them and hand them to MOX? Yes, we have. Or no, we haven't. Hot dog or not a hot dog? A 50, what we need is a checklist taken from the video transcript that can be put in place as a list of improvements to make off. So I want a Trello card at the end of it. So done means it's been transcribed. We've got a checklist out of it that I can throw straight into a Trello card to check off and make all the improvements that are in that video training. Debrief completed. So I could copy that, put that into my Microsoft Teams chat if I'm doing this with my team, which is a recap of this meeting. And then he's run handover notes, written handover notes there for Mox to go and write the next post. All right, 30 minutes. So we got 2 ticks today. Maybe I can show you what that actually means. Hopefully, I'll pull it up. Let me bring, this is part of I track everything that I do. There you are. That's of importance. If I actually pick the whole box up, instead of moving parts of it inside of it, it'll be a lot better. Okay, can we, our scenes window, have we got Mox? Is that showing? Hey, look at that. We still got audio? Yep, all right. So what happens here? I said to you before that Learn Claude. So I've done the first day of Learn Claude today. It is Saturday the 14th of March. That's done. So I've made 10% progress on my next pact, which is to spend 1 critical focus time. Let's put one by critical focus time a day. Okay. Next, I'm talking about my hours. So what I said I was going to do this year, and I did one yesterday. So 13th of the 3rd, and go 14th. I'm tracking hours because you do 100 hours on something, any particular skill, you've mastered it to a level where you're probably in the top 5% of the world for doing that particular skill. The skill I'm mastering is triple banger, doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is doing social media with extreme confidence, planning and prioritizing my day, and establishing, maintaining and building culture on live video. So I did one 15-minute block yesterday, and we are over half an hour today. I measure them in half-hour blocks, and if we don't get to the next one, so we're at 34 minutes today. So 34 minutes means we get 2 blocks today. 1, 2. So we're 34.3% through our 100 hours. All right. All week, we've spoken to stealth teams. We ran a video a few times on stealth teams, how stealth teams form, how you create a movement. I'll play it one last time for this week because this is genius. This is what you need to do. So when you see the lone nut dancing at the start, one guy, that's the process that I'm doing at the moment with ORCA on LinkedIn. Take it, use it, make it a great week, and we'll speak soon.
So ladies and gentlemen, at TED we talk a lot about leadership and how to make a movement. So let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed. But what he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends. Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. The first follower is what transforms a lone nut into a leader.
The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. So I'll see if I can get that comment back. If you want to be one of those first followers in the Catalyst Academy and you're not sure what the Catalyst Academy is, go back early in the video or explain it, or type the word Catalyst in the comments and I'll flick you the doc that explains exactly what the Catalyst Academy is. This is what we're building in the Catalyst Academy. This. More lone nuts who can get the first follower and then a stealth team to form around them.
And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts, 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important to show not just...
A movement must be public. That's why I'm doing this live on LinkedIn and YouTube.
the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry.
When you're ready to join in, become part of the in crowd, message me the word Catalyst. I'll send you the docs with all the details. Speak soon.